What is up you guys? Welcome back again to my channel. For today's lesson, syempre meron na naman tayong panibagong gagawin. Pero bago yun, balikan muna natin yung last time ko itinuro sa inyo. Yun ay ang kinds of lines and angle pairs. Kung gusto nyo balikan yung video lesson na yun, ilalagay ko yung link sa description sa baba so that you can study it for yourself. So, moving on, doon na tayo sa third week ng quarter 3 ng grade 7 mathematics. Ang i-lesson ko naman ngayon ay parallel lines and transversal. So, ano bang inaantay natin? Pumunta na tayo sa ating lesson. So, let's now move on sa ating lesson, parallel lines and transversal. So, we have here, what do you call two lines which do not intersect? So, ano daw yung mga lines na hindi nagtatagpo? So, the answer is parallel lines or parallel. So, a solid arrow placed on two lines, kagaya niyan, yan yung markings na mag-indicate sa atin na yung lines ay parallel. So, we can say here that line AB is parallel to line CD. Yan. So, yun po yung symbol for parallel, yung dalawang lines. Okay. Pero oftentimes, slant yung line. So, either of the two ay okay lang. So, we have here line AB is parallel to line CD. So, next one is, paano naman pag hindi parallel? Ano namang symbol? So, we have here lines GH and EF. So, hindi sila, nagdagpo sila. So, intersecting lines yan. Kaya, ang gagawin natin is, we will say here that line EF is not parallel to line GH. So, kapag ka may slash, yan, gagaya yung example natin dyan, dun sa symbol for parallel line, babasahin natin siya as not parallel. So, we have here line EF is not parallel to line GH. Next, ano naman yung transversal? So, we have here a line array or a segment. So, it could be a line ray or a segment that intersects, sabihin, imimit niya, dadaanan niya yung dalawa or mas marami pang linya. Pero dapat coplanar lines. So, we have here parallel lines. Yan, at yung transversal dumaan sa kanila. So, dalawang linya na yan. And then, pwede rin sa non-parallel line. So, regardless yun kung parallel lines ba yung pair of lines or non-parallel, pwede po silang magkaroon ng transversal line. Basta, minute nung transversal line, yung pair of lines. So, we have here the interior and then the exterior. So, interior region po, yun yung in between sa pair of lines, and then yung exterior naman is nasa labas ng pair of lines. So, we have here lines J, K, and M. So, intersect po sila ng line T. So, therefore, yung line T po ay transversal ng lines J, K, and M. So, hindi po necessary na intersected lines ay parallel. Minsan po kasi hindi naman po parallel yung mga intersected lines. So, yan ulit yung interior. And then the exterior naman yung nasa labas. So, interior and exterior angles. So, we have here a diagram. So, it has 8 angles. So, ayan po yung interior, yung nasa loob po. So, ano-ano po yun? Angles 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then, the exterior, yung nasa labas po ng pair of lines, ay angles 1, 2, 7, and 8. So, yan po yung mga interior at exterior angles. So, alam na natin yung interior at exterior angles. So, meron din pong tayong tinatawag na alternate interior at saka alternate exterior angles. So, ano po yung definition? What's the definition of alternate interior angles? So, these are two angles that lie between. So, nasa loob po ng parallel lines or any pair of lines. Kasi nga, interior diba? So, dapat nasa loob. And then, dapat nasa opposite sides sila ng transversal. Meaning, yung isa nasa kaliwa ng transversal, yung isa naman nasa kanan ng transversal. Or, yung isa nasa taas ng transversal, or yung isa nasa baba ng transversal. So, dapat magkaiba sila ng side. At dapat hindi rin sila magkatabi, hindi rin adjacent. So, anong angles sa diagram natin ng alternate interior angles? They are angles 3 and 6, and then angles 4 and 5. So, yan po yung alternate interior angles. Kasi, they lie on inside or in between the parallel lines here, and then opposite side pa lang sila ng transversal, tapos hindi rin sila magkadikit. So, next is alternate exterior angles. So, ito naman po, two angles that lie outside the line. Pero dito kasi parallel lines yung example ko. So, yan po yung mga angles that lie outside parallel lines. And then, magkaiba ulit ng side ng transversal. At saka, dapat hindi magkadikit. So, in this diagram, the alternate exterior angles are angles 2 and 7, and then angles 1 and 8. So, yan po yung mga example po na alternate interior tsaka exterior angles. Next. So, meron pong relationship yung alternate interior at saka alternate exterior angles kung yung kinat po ng transversal ay parallel line. Kagaya po ng example diagram natin dito. So, theorem. If two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, then the alternate exterior angles are congruent or they have equal measure or equal measurements. So, yung kapag daw po parallel lines ang kinat ng transversal, automatic daw po, yung alternate exterior angles are congruent or parehas ng measurement. So, ano yung mga congruent dito? We have angles 3 and 6, and then angles 4 and 5. So, if ang measure po na angle 3 ay 45 degrees, ang measure na angle 6 ay 45 degrees din. Kasi nga, congruent daw po sila. And then, if the measure of angle 4 is 135 degrees, then the measure of angle 5 is also 135 degrees. Next theorem. So, if two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, then the alternate exterior angles are congruent. So, ngayon naman, alternate exterior angles. So, ano ba yung mga alternate exterior angles dito? We have angles 1 and 8, and then angles 2 and 7. So, using the theorem, if measure of angle 1 is 135 degrees, then the measure of angle 8 is also 135 degrees. And then, if the measure of angle 2 is 45 degrees, then the measure of angle 7 is also 45 degrees using the theorem. So, tandaan natin kapag yung parallel line ay kinat ng transversal, yung alternate exterior angles at saka alternate interior angles are congruent. So, dito naman tayo sa same side interior and then same side exterior angles in a parallel line cut by a transversal. So, we have here, yan. So, same side interior angles. Ano ba yun? So, these are two angles that lie between the parallel lines on the same sides of the transversal. So, we have here, dapat daw po, nasa interior, nasa loob. So, ano ba yung mga angles na nasa interior? Diba? Angles 3, 4, 5, and 6. Pero dapat daw, same side sila ng transversal. So, kung parehas left, same side interior yun. Tapos parehas right, same side interior ulit. So, here sa diagram natin, we have angles 3 and angle 5. And then, angles 4 and 6. Yan. So, next is, meron tayong theorem here that if two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, then the same side interior angles are supplementary. So, meaning, si angles 3 and 5 ay supplementary, and then si angle 4 and then si angle 6 are also supplementary. Ano nga ulit yung supplementary? The angles sum up to 180 degrees, or the measurement of the angles sum up to 180 degrees. So, therefore, measure of angle 3 plus measure of angle 5 is equal to 180 degrees. And then measure of angle 4 plus measure of angle 6 is 180 degrees. Next. So, we have the same side exterior angles. So, ganun ulit. Halos parehas lang, pero ito naman outside the parallel lines. So, same pa rin ang side ng transversal. So, here we have angles 1 and 7, and then angles 2 and 8. So, yung theorem naman for that is, if two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, then, the same side exterior angles are supplementary. So, ito naman, yung same side exterior, supplementary din. So, we have measure of angle 1 plus measure of angle 7 is 180 degrees. And then, the measure of angle 2 plus the measure of angle 8 is also equal to 180 degrees. So, tandaan po natin yan. Next, doon naman tayo sa pair na corresponding angles. So, ano naman yun? Yung corresponding angles. So, corresponding angles are two angles that occupy corresponding positions or the angles in matching corners. So, kapag sinabi natin corresponding angles, magka-match yung corner nila, yung opening. Kumbaga, yung opening ng angle, parehas. So, in other words, pwede rin nating sabihin na yung corresponding angles ay angles na nasa same side ng transversal. Ibig sabihin parehas left at yung isa naman parehas nasa right. And then, isa pa, yung isa is, isang angle ay nasa interior and then yung isa naman is nasa exterior. And then, last is not adjacent sila. So, here, ang corresponding angles dyan sa diagram na yan ay angles 1 and 5, angles 3 and 7, angles 2 and 6, and then angles 4 and 8. So, mapapansin nyo, parehas po sila ng opening ng angle. So, meron din po theorem para dyan. So, if two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, then the corresponding angles are congruent. So, meaning, yung mga corresponding angles, parehas ulit ng measurement. So, we have here angle 1 is congruent to angle 5. And then, angle 2 is congruent to angle 6. And then, angle 3 is congruent to angle 7. And then, angle 4 is congruent to angle 8. So, for example, angles 1 and 5, parehas sila ng measurement, 150 degrees, for example. And then, angles 2 and 6 are both 30 degrees. And then, angles 3 and 7 are both 30 degrees as well. And then, angles 4 and 8 are both 150 degrees. So, kung mapapansin po natin, di ba, same sila ng opening ng angle. So, kaya po, congruent din sila. Basta tandaan po, corresponding angles are congruent. So, to summarize, special angle relationships when the lines are parallel. Tandaan po pang parallel lines lang po ito. So, the first one is, alternate interior angles are congruent. So, tandaan po yan. And then, alternate exterior angles are congruent. Next, same side interior angles are supplementary. Then, same side exterior angles are also supplementary. And then, the last one is, corresponding angles are congruent. So, sa mga angle relationships, halos lahat ay congruent. Maliban lang dun sa same side interior angles and then same side exterior angles because they are supplementary. Okay, remember that if the lines are not parallel, hindi po natin ito pwede gamitin. Okay, kailangan po parallel yung lines na kinat ng transversal. So, yan po yung summary ng special angle relationships when the lines are parallel. Okay, so magkaroon po tayo ng activity. So let's answer this activity. Let's identify the measurements of the other angles. So gagamitin natin yung mga theorems na natutunan natin kanina. Yung alternate exterior angles are congruent, alternate interior angles are congruent, corresponding angles are congruent, and then same side interior angles are supplementary and same side exterior angles are supplementary. So, pwede din natin magamit yung natutunan natin last time, yung theorem, yung vertical angle theorem, wherein vertical angles are congruent. So, start na tayo. So, kung mapansin natin, si angle 1 at saka si angle 3 ay vertical angles. So, pag vertical angles, congruent yun. So, kung angles 1 and angle 3 are vertical angles. So, therefore, congruent sila. Si angle 1 is 135 degrees. So, si angle 3 ay also 135 degrees. Then, pwede din natin magamit yung alternate exterior angles. Si angle 1 tsaka si angle 7. So, angle 1 and angle 7 are alternate exterior angles. So, therefore, sila ay congruent. Okay, lagay ko dito, congruent. So, ibig sabihin, si angle 7 is also 135 degrees. And then, yan. So, pwede rin tayong gumamit ng corresponding angles. So, si angle 1 and angle 5 are corresponding angles. They are also congruent. So, ibig sabihin, si angle 1 is 135 degrees. Si angle 5 ay 135 degrees din. And then, ayan. So, pwede tayong gumamit na, para makuha si angle 4, si angle 5 tsaka si angle 4 ay same side. Angle 5 and angle 4 are same side interior angles. So, they sum up to 180 degrees. So, para makuha yung angle 4, yan, 180 degrees minus 135 degrees. Ano pong sagot? The answer is 45 degrees. So, therefore, yan, ang measure ni angle 4 is 45 degrees. And then, para makuha si angle 6, gamit tayo ng alternate interior angles. So, angles 4 and angle 6 are alternate interior angles. Therefore, also congruent. So, kung si angle 4 ay 45 degrees, si angle 6 ay 45 degrees din. And then, meron pa ba? Okay. So, using vertical angles, pwede natin makuha yung value or yung measurement ni angle 2. So, angle 4 and angle 2 are vertical angles. Therefore, congruent din. Okay, so, si angle 2 ay also 45 degrees. And then last, angle 8. So, pwede tayong gumamit ulit ng vertical angles. So, si angle 8, angle 6, and angle 8 are vertical angles. Therefore, congruent ulit. So, si angle 6 ay 45 degrees. Therefore, angle 8 is also 45 degrees. So, yan po yung mga measurement ng lahat po ng angles, yung 8 angles. So, ginamit po natin yung mga theorems na natutunan po natin. Basta tandaan, pwede po natin itong gamitin kung parallel lines po ang kinat ng transversal. So, that is all for today, guys. Salamat po sa pagsama sa akin sa buong video lesson ko. Nawa po ay marami pa kayong natutunan. For more videos like this, please subscribe to my channel and also click the notification bell below so that you will be notified sa mga susunod ko pang mga video lessons. Shout out sa mga estudyante ko. Sana makatulong ng malaki sa inyo itong video lesson ko na to. And sa mga friends ko and sa mga co-teachers ko. Sa lahat ng taga-subaybay and subscribers ko dito sa aking channel. Bye-bye everybody, stay safe, and God bless you. Ingat!